Day 745, being Christopher Cruz, just outside walking, listening to a video, have some coffee. I got up and showered and went and sat on the back patio, and I was just drinking my coffee, just kind of reflecting over everything and what I'm going to get done today. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to a motivational video. I haven't listened to a motivational video in months. I always listen to pastors now and stuff like that. And I was like, but you know what? I'm going to. And so I I went to YouTube and I typed in "starting now motivation" because I'm going to start this challenge, and starting things is such a challenge for me. Well, not even starting them, but getting them out there to the world. And so I just found this one and I started listening to it, and immediately it was just like, wow. It's like, hey, if you think you're the only one that feels these feelings of, defeat or whatever it is, everyone who's successful felt that. And they felt it again and again and again, but they kept pushing through. And then they were talking about, you got to dream big, but start small. Dream big, but start small. And that has been my greatest challenge with my purpose and everything that I'm doing. Is it's such a big vision. It's a massive dream. And I suck at starting small. And so I don't start at all because I can never start big enough, right? I never have everything lined up perfectly to start big. I always want to start big rather than starting small. And he's like, dream big, start small, act now. Dream big, start small, act now. And I was just like, oh my God, that's exactly what I need to do. And then he's like, listen, you've got a boat, and you've got to take that boat to the island, and you've got to burn the boat. You've got to go all in on the thing that you're doing, and you got to make it work. You got to stop living like there's tomorrow, and someday you'll figure it out, and one day you'll have the perfect circumstances to make it happen, and it's that's not going to happen. You'll never have the perfect environment, the perfect circumstances. That's why you just need to start now, because if you don't start now, you'll never start. And I was like, he's speaking to my soul. And it's just like, yeah, I need to burn the boats. That is the thing. I need to pick whatever it is I'm going to go all in on, and I need to burn the boat, and I need to commit that I am literally not going to stop working on this and making progress in this and learning about this until it's successful. And I feel like that's what I have to do with challenges, with these online challenges. It's it's right in front of me. And Araceli was messaging me last night. She's like, I have a feeling you're really going to love these. And I was like, yeah, I have a feeling too. It's just it's like this perfect setup. It's designed perfectly for who I am and my personality and all this stuff. And I'm drawing out some things last night on the whiteboard of how the challenge would work, and I'm just like, man, this is so freaking good. It's so good, and it just gets me excited. But there's this fear of not knowing. There's this fear of stepping into something where I don't know. I don't have the answers, right? There's this lack of control. But at the end of control is the beginning of faith. And so I don't need to be afraid. I need to be faithful. The fear is coming from, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't have control. Oh, excuse me, gross. I don't have control, but I need to have faith, because if I don't have control, that means God has control. And I just need to go all in on this. And so I look at how everything has lined up. 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago or something like that, I saw that Pedro Adao was doing this online challenge, and he's the online challenge guru, the master that's known all over the world for doing challenges. And I see that he's doing this challenge that's called the 414 challenge, which is such a time as this. And he's talking about, in a moment of crisis, that's when the greatest opportunity comes for businesses. And I wasn't going to watch that challenge because I was staying home from the internship, because I was like, hey, I need to take a break. And I logged on to the Zoom for the internship to do the classes, and I was going to watch the classes on Thursday. And my pastor was like, hey, we're not going to do Zoom anymore. You just have to be in person. So I was like, I kind of got kicked off the class. And immediately I was like, that's bullshit. But then I was like, no, God has a plan for this. And I was like, okay, I'll watch this challenge. And I watched like the first day of the challenge, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is all about like kingdom entrepreneurs and, and helping them succeed and all of this. And I'm watching this, I'm like, oh man, this is good. And then he starts talking about this conference he's doing, this 100X conference that he's doing, and it's in Anaheim. And I Google it, and Anaheim's like 45 minutes from my house. And I'm like, oh dang. And I'm like, oh yeah, but it's an in-person conference. It's probably going to be like $1,000. And then I look, and it's $95. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, I really want to go, but I have zero money. I don't have enough money for gas. I don't have enough money for the ticket even. And so I said, but God, if I get a client, then I'll go to this. Like, then I get a client. She struggles with the payment, can't make the payment. But luckily my grandpa sent me $800, so I was able to use some of that to buy the ticket and to go there and pay for gas and pay for parking. And then I go there, and I'm surrounded by 400 or 500 believers who are entrepreneurs that are passionate about changing the world. And I'm like, oh my God, these are my people. I get to speak in front of everyone for 2 minutes, and I just get to see how captivating it is when I'm speaking in front of these people and how engaged they are. And then I have so many people come up to me saying, oh my God, that was so great. Your testimony was amazing. There's something different about you. A lady comes up and shows me pictures of Tony Robbins and says, this is the next you. Like, this is you. God showed me this is you. This is your future. And so I'm like, oh my God. And everyone's talking about challenges. But they don't have a course for sale or anything. I mean, I couldn't buy it anyway because I don't have any money, but they didn't have a course for sale of how to do challenges because they were selling something else. And so then during that whole seminar, I realized, okay, God wants me to go all in on my purpose, helping these believers find their purpose. Because when he asked if people need clarity in their lives, everyone raised their hands, and it's like purpose is ultimate clarity. And so I'm seeing all these things, and I quit the internship so I can go all in on my business. And then I'm trying to decide, okay, do I go all in on my speaking business and try to get on as many stages as I can and sell from stage because God already gave me that success formula in Denver and Vegas? Or do I do these challenges? I want to do these challenges. This is cool, but I want to speak on stage in front of people. Like, I want to get in front of people. I want to feel that energy. Like, the problem is I could book a stage, but it might not be from 4 months from now. So how the frick am I going to make any money until then? I've messaged all my clients. I've tapped out everyone. The well is dry. So what the shit am I supposed to do? And then I was like, you know what? I got to go all in on my speaking business. Like, I got to make it happen. So I log into the course that I got from my coach, Pete, like a year ago. And just as a refresher, and I log in, and one of the first things I see is how to do an online challenge. And I click on that, and it's a freaking masterclass online course on how to build an online challenge and launch it and run it and make money doing it. And I'm like, what the heck? How do I have access to this? I never even paid for this. And so, but I think they had me in the system when I was part of their agency, and so it was just added to my account. So I'm like, oh God, I just decided I'm going to go all in on my speaking business, and now here's this training for doing challenges. And I'm like, no, I'm still going to go all in on my speaking business. So I started watching videos on that. I wake up the next morning, my client says she doesn't have the money to do the coaching. She's not going to have it for 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God. So yesterday was just so frustrating. My roommate lent me $1,000 so I could cover rent. It was just like the worst situation, and I was going to pay her back the next day because my client was supposed to pay, and now she's saying she can't. So yesterday just fucking sucked. So I got on my knees and I just started praying, and I'm like, God, please give me some freaking guidance here. Like, what direction do you want me to go in? Like, I got to make money now. What direction do you want me to go in? And I had my phone on the bed while I was praying, and my phone vibrated, and I put my head up and I looked at it, and there's a text from a guy named Jesus, which was just crazy to be praying and asking Jesus for a sign, for some direction, for some clarity. And I lift my head up, and there's a text from Jesus. And it was a guy from the event, and for some reason I saved his name and everything in my account, or on my phone, so I had his contact info. And he messaged me, and he's like, hey man, did you find, anyone that could help you get the course or anything like that? I was like, no man. He's like, well, hey, me and my wife, we'd be open to doing a Zoom call with you and helping you, with your challenge and getting you going. And I was like, what? And so I feel like God is just I feel like he's just given me the direction of like, okay, go towards these challenges. And I was talking to Araceli last night, like my challenge is that I like when I was at that event and I spoke, it was just like so clear that I'm meant to speak in front of these believers, and I want to do it in person. I want to be on these stages, and oh man, I could help so many freaking people. It's crazy, and have crazy amounts of success. And so I was telling her, I was like, I feel like I'm going against God's will. Like, I feel like God made it really clear that it's time for me to start my speaking business. And so by me doing challenges, like, yeah, I'm still speaking, I'm doing it digitally, but I'm not in front of people. It's totally different. And she was saying, yeah, but that's a step, you know, that is like speaking. It's just a different like medium basically. And yeah, it was just like, it's just like, okay. So then I woke up this morning, sit out there to have my coffee, and then I start listening to this video. And it's just like, okay, I got to go all in. And I know I could be super successful at these challenges. It's just that I have to learn it all, and I got to launch it, and I got to start small. And if the first challenge has 4 or 5 people, it is what it is. If I get 1 customer from it, you know, that it is what it is. And then I'll do another one, and then I'll do another one, and then I'll do another one. But these challenges are so brilliant, and they're the most popular thing in online marketing because they allow people to try before they buy. They get to experience you for 5 or 6 or 7 days before they decide to actually hire you and buy what you have. So you actually get to help them get these micro wins. And a lot of the stuff I've been researching, they say, you know, every day just go live for like 10 or 15 minutes. Don't make it long. Make it super consumable, super easy. Don't do like hour or 2 hour long, you know, sessions. They're just like 10 or 15 minutes. Get them small wins and then lead them up to the product that you want to sell them so they can work with you on a deeper level. And so it makes perfect sense, and I think it would be really fun to do it. And then you build a community because you do it all from a Facebook group. So it's all there. It's all there. I just I need to burn the boats. Like, I need to decide that I'm going all in on these challenges, and I will not stop until I'm successful with it, until I'm getting massive results, because there are people that do challenges, you know, and they make $20, $30, $40, $50,000 on a single 7-day challenge, because it's just all about how many people you get there and then what the offer is that you give them afterwards. And you know, my product is incredible. It is very much needed. People want clarity and purpose now more than ever in the history of humanity. And now that I know that I want to do it with believers, that's significant. And so it's really just getting in front of people. It's getting enough people there. Like, if I could get 100 people on a challenge, which is probably not realistic to start, but hey, God can do anything. But if I get 100 people in the challenge and 20% of them sign up, that's $20,000 to $40,000 that I can make from that. So it's just like, it's all there. I'm just gonna have to really let go of the perfectionism and trying to make it all perfect and all of that. And I'm just gonna have to do the bare bones, and just start and do the first one and get it out of the way. And that's the scary part, doing the first one and getting it out of the way. It's like doing your first video. Like me doing these videos, doing the first Becoming Christopher Cruz video, that took 2 years for me to do it. Seriously, it took me 2 years to build up the courage to do it. And then I did one and I was like, oh, this is easy. And now I've done 3,000. So it's shit, I wish I would have done that a long time ago. So, yeah. So I just need to burn the boat, and I need to go all in on these challenges and just trust that God will guide me and lead me and present the opportunities, because I got to make money now, and I don't have the time or the luxury to just focus completely on booking stages. I need to get results now. And the thing is, I'd be reaching out to all these people for all these stages, but then I'm not interacting with anyone. That makes sense. Then I'm not interacting with anyone at all. Like, all I'm doing is I'm just researching and then reaching out to one person, having a conversation with one person, but I'm not speaking on these stages. So challenges actually bring the stage to me every week or every 2 weeks or however often I want to do it. And then I'm actually making progress. And then in between that, I can work on reaching out to people who have events, because that just doesn't need to be a full-time thing. Like, there's not enough events for me to reach out to do this 40 hours a week for the next 3 months, you know? So there'd have to be thousands and thousands for me to reach out to. So this is actually making sense. It's like bringing the stage to me now. And the other reason why this makes sense is because the new year's coming up, and I really feel like I got to do something around, like, hey, you don't need a New Year's resolution, you need purpose. Like, go into the new year knowing your purpose, what you're here to do in this world, the difference you're meant to make, the work you're born to do, the person you're born to be, and actually start your year off right. So I feel like that could be a really, really powerful challenge that I can do. So yeah, I just need to master these. So I gotta burn the freaking boat. I gotta decide I'm going all in these challenges, and I'm not gonna stop until they're wildly successful. And God willing, in a month, 2, 3 months from now, I could be like, oh my God, I just did a challenge and made $50,000. Like, or $100,000 or $250,000. Like, there are people that make millions of dollars when they run a challenge. So yeah, it just depends on how many people show up to it. But I know that what I offer is in massive demand right now. Everyone wants clarity. Everyone wants to find their purpose, because people are so unfulfilled and lost. So yeah. Okay, here we go. I don't want to say it. I have to declare it. But I don't want to. Okay, I declare I am going all in on challenges. I am burning the boat, and I am going to become a challenge master. And also, by doing that, that will get me on the radar of Pedro, because he's the challenge guy. And he has so many people that come and speak on his stage that have succeeded with challenges. So, all right. Help me, God. Help me, God. Guide me. Here we go.